Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I want to make a Matchbox book. So this is a little Matchbox cutout from a Sizzix die that I got a few years ago from Hobby Lobby. This is what the cover of that looks like. They don't have it at Hobby Lobby anymore or any of the craft stores that I'm aware of, but you might be able to get it on Amazon. Having said that, it's not really necessary to get the die. You can also just use a normal Matchbox and do the same thing. And I think they even have those available at the dollar store. You might check it out. So this is my box. I have it cut out. I have two of them cut out. And this is how it's going to fold up. For the bottom of the box, I want to keep that as clear as possible because I don't want it to get too tight moving in and out. So I'm not going to put any other paper over it, and I'm not going to like decoupage over it or anything like that. But what I am going to do is stamp on it. Now if you get yours from the dollar store or whatever, with your little Matchbox, you can stamp on it just holding it like that. But because I can, I'm just going to have mine flat. I'll just do this one. Actually, I'll do this one because I can fold it up more easily again for you. I'm going to do mine flat because I can, and I'm going to stamp right on it. So this is what I'm going to use on the top. I have decided on the cover part as my base, and so I want to use something that kind of goes with it. I do have this green die. It's a stays-on die, so it's a nice firm die. So I'm going to try that. It's not the exact color, but I'm going to go back over it with like a Tim Holtz Distress ink, and that'll dirty it up a little bit and make it maybe more of a color that I'm looking for. So this particular stamp has on a postal mark because I wanted it to feel kind of like it was being shipped out, and you know, conversations are going on. And so I'm going to go ahead and just go lightly around the perimeter of it to get those edges inked up a little bit as well. So now that I have that on, I'm going to clean it up. Now this ink is a really good ink. It is a strong ink though, so you don't want to leave it someplace because it's going to stay on. That's the name, right? So I've got that done. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my Distress ink and just ink it up a little bit, dirty it up a little bit so it's not so bold looking. So I think that looks nice with it. So I'm going to kind of go over like that, and then what I want to do is get my edges. Just get them a little more distinct looking. I could probably do this also once I have the box all together, but I'm just going to do it right now. Like this. So for this particular box, it's got the sides. You fold it in with the little parts in the inside the little flaps. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of a glue to hold it in place. What I might want to do too is put something at the bottom of the box, because there's nothing saying I can't have anything on the bottom of the box. That's not going to create any bulk. It'll only impact the book that I put in, and one piece of paper shouldn't make a difference. I have this paper that I thought might be nice in the inside. It's kind of got that Baroque type feeling to it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. Okay, there's a nice little piece I can put right in the middle there. So while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and distress the outer edges of that so it can look, your eye will pull in a little bit more towards the center of it as it has that distressed outer look on the edges. Take a little glue. Get it down in the middle. Perfect. So now what I want to do, I want to put glue on these little parts that I'm going to fold in. You know what? I should put this down at the very end, because once my box gets turned in, the little flaps are there. If I kept it in there right now, it would be covered up. It wouldn't look very good. Okay, I got to hold this a little bit longer for the glue to hold. Gotta be patient there. Okay, let's get some glue going on here. Actually, I can put glue on both sides of those little flaps. So that's what I'm going to do. And go ahead and turn it in. And now the last parts. Really, this box goes together pretty easy. And I can't remember how long ago I bought it. It might have been as many as like 4 years ago. So I've had a little while. Okay, that's in there nicely. And I'm just going to recheck that. It fits pretty darn good. I might take just a little tiny smidgen off the edge to give a little bit more movement, because with those flaps in, that particular edge was just a tad too tight. Ah! Things flying. Alright, I have it nice and glued up again. I am loving this glue, by the way. And there we go. We have it on the bottom. So now I'm going to work on my outside piece. On my outside piece, what I would like to do is decoupage this napkin onto it and then add accents on top of that. Let me grab my supplies. So I don't have tape at my desk right now. If you have a piece of tape, you can put tape there and this will pull up easily. I don't have that, so at the moment, so I have to do this the old-fashioned way. You want to just find where the napkin separates, because you're going to have more than one piece. And I think this one might even have one more piece. I can't really tell. Let me see if I can. Yep, it does. So this one had 3 pieces to it. I can also stamp on this, and that stamping will show through here. I'm just going to try it and see what it looks like. So by the way, this is a Bo Bunny stamp set, and this is what came in it. The little letters and that. So that is, this other part is what I'm going to use. This is what it looks like. I got that from Tuesday Morning. Love Tuesday Morning. So this, it's not really going to matter how I stamp this, because it's just going to randomly show through some of those leaves. I could have actually stamped it with the brown as well, and maybe it'll show through a little bit better. I'm going to wipe that up real quick, and let's see what happens. So let me see what area of the napkin I want. So I want the top. Let's see, do I want that the top or that top? That has a little bit more writing, so I might do that. Let's see if it even shows through. Yeah, it shows through. Creates a little more movement. So it would kind of be nice to get some of the acorns there. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm just going to cut the napkin down a little bit so it's easier for me to work with. I could have just ripped it, but you know. Okay, I'm going to start laying my glue. I do love Mod Podge. There's so much you can do with it. So this other flap is actually the flap I wanted to first use. I probably should have glued that one first. Laid it down. So let's see what I've got. I'm going to go about there, I think. Oh, nope, not there. It's not going to cover the whole area. How about right there to right there? Perfect. So just pressing down so the napkin can pull up that glue. I can either tear the edges, so like by getting the edges damp, you can use water instead of the Mod Podge. But by getting the edges damp, then they can just rip off. And usually it's a pretty nice rip. Like that. And you can just tuck those sides in. I did end up ripping off a little bit of that edge piece there. I don't think it's a big deal though. Or you can take your scissors, go to the back and just cut along the edge. And then if you want, put a tad touch of the Mod Podge there, so if there's anything left, it'll go ahead and stick to that extra area. So, I want to grab that and just kind of go along my edges. Oops, see, like that one's coming up a little bit. And then I'm going to go over the whole thing anyway, with it on the top. So, because we do want our edges to stick down nicely. Okay. Now I'm doing the whole thing. It's fun just seeing what happens with what you make. Now I'm not seeing a lot of that green stamp coming through. I'm not too surprised, although I was expecting to see a little bit more. It's not a big deal though, because this has plenty of motion going on all by itself. So you see, that was quick and easy. So you can see right there some of the letters are coming through from that stamp that I did. Let me go ahead and clean this up. I like using this mat because I can get it dirty and I can just clean up real easy. It's awesome. Get my brush nice and clean, or sufficiently clean for the moment anyway. There we go. Okay, I'm going to dry this and then do some additional work on it. So it's still a little bit sticky from the heat and all. And those two flaps are going to go together. I'm going to wait till I'm really certain that there's nothing else that I want to do to it before I glue it together. I'm going to go ahead and grab the edges right now, give them some ink to give them a little bit more distinction. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so where are we? That was my sister on the phone that called. So I think while I was on the phone I made a wonderful mess stamping up some leaves. I'll get to that later, but right now we're still right here. So I have my little thing here ready. I want to glue it up, but I want to make sure it's loose enough that I can push this in and out easily. So I'm going to grab my glue. Excuse me. Put a little along the edge. And then put it on. Put my box back in it to make sure that I have it loose enough. Yeah, that's good. So you won't have that problem if you just have the box itself from the actual Matchbox. That's what it looks like. It's getting exciting. So I have this. This is just normal twine, but it just gives it that wonderful rustic outdoor look. Look what it looks like when it's tied on here. Doesn't it just add that wonderful feeling? And also I was thinking, this would make a great gift. Like if you do a nice decorated table and you want something for each of your guests at Thanksgiving. Oops, I better put that in there. At each place setting. This would be a wonderful little gift at place settings. I mean, it's a bit of a, work to make something for everybody. You could put a book inside, or you could put something else inside too. But just tied up like a little present and then sticking these under. Isn't that just lovely? Sorry about my fingers. It really kind of takes away from seeing it. Or having a few of them poking out like that, and then maybe a button right there. Maybe not such a bright button. Maybe more of a dulled, a brown, or... Anyway, you get the idea, right? Put something there. A little fancy little button would look really cool there. Anyway, let's keep on working. So now what I want to do, I want to actually make the book that's going to go in the inside here. So I do want to measure that properly and cut up some paper for that. I think I'm going to make the outside of it with the same kind of cardstock. Let me think about that. Here is a fall paper pad that I bought last year. I think I might actually use something like that. And the reason is this paper will have a smoother touch to it than this paper. So when I move my book in and out, when I push this in and out, it will have less friction. It'll move more easily. So let's see. Well, that didn't come in it. Let's see what'll look good here. What kind of look do I want to create? Ooh, I could go something dark. That might be kind of cool. It'd be nice to pick up some more like of that coloring. I need some contrast. So far I'm thinking I like this one the best. Let's do a little flip. Oh, I like those words too. That really does look nice as well, but it's not the look that I want. Oh, leaves. Alright, so I'm going to just pull out a few different sheets that just kind of hit me at the moment. And then I want to look at the leaf one, and then I'll go from there. I might even end up just cutting out portions of the leaf and using it to decorate. And then I'm going to take this piece. Okay, let me move that aside. Look at that messy cloth from that ink. So let me see. Do I want to open it up and see that in the inside? I think that doesn't look the look I want. Okay, so these have two different looks. This one with the wording on it, it kind of looks a little bit mysterious. Like, I like the feel of it. It's got that darker, deeper, richer look to it. So that would make a wonderful look. But if I want it to be just a little bit more on the cheerful side, I would go with this one. So I think I'm going to go with this one, because that's what I would like. A little bit more on the cheerful side. So I've got my cutting board out. Let me move these to the side. And I'm going to measure it once more. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone, Jones. I've got all these different things out that I need to kind of deal with, right? I want to keep these because I might end up using them later on. So for the inside of the box, I want to make sure that I have space for my book to slide in and out easily. So I'm going to make it 1.5 inches on each side. So that's 3 inches. And the spine I'm going to make just like 1/4 inch, I think, because then if it fills up a little bit. So 3 inches and 1/4 inch goes there. I want to figure out where I want that kind of in the center. So I'm just going to cut that piece out and then figure out where I want it in regards to this. So I think I kind of want it about there. Give it a try. I already forgot my number for this direction. Let's see, that would be, oh, maybe I didn't do it. That's why I forgot. I'm going to go 2 3/8, I believe. 2 3/8. You know, I cut that the wrong way, because that's going to go in this way. Although that's not bad, but I was cutting it initially, so that would be in the center. And actually, maybe it's best it's not. Okay, I'm going to go with this. So now what I want to do, and I don't have to do it, but what I'm going to do is take out my scoreboard so that I can measure to make sure I have my front and my back cover at the right point. There we go. So that was 1.5 and 1.5, which gives me the 1/4 inch spine. 1.5, 1.5, 1/4 inch spine. So let's see how that fits in there. Proof is in the pudding. That'll fit in there nicely. And that'll still enable me to put some little things around it. So I do want to go ahead and do my edges. So this one's a little bit darker, and because it's a little darker, I think I want to pull out a darker ink. This is walnut, and it's a little bit darker than the vintage photo. So vintage photo works out really well on your coffee dyed paper. You know, and it all depends really how dark your coffee dyed paper is, all right? But this walnut is nice if you have a dark colored paper that you want to be embellishing. So there's that. And then the inside here, I want to grab my paper. Here's a stack. Let's see. This is the paper that I brought back from California that I made with my mom. I think I want to get something with a little bit more design to it though. And I didn't do any paper like that when I was there with her. So I'm going to grab some of that paper. So here's some of my paper. Here's some of my paper that I do a special dyeing technique on it, so it has fun designs on it. But as I was looking at it by my little book here, I almost think I want to go with the darker, just coffee dyed paper. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that and use this. So I'm going to cut a strip here for my pages, and I want them to be just a little bit smaller than my actual book. So I'm going to go 2 1/4. So I'm just going to cut some strips at 2 1/4, and then I'll recut the other direction. And so this is 1 1/2 inches, so I'm going to go like 1 3/8. So that'll be 2 6/8. So let's go 5, 6. Let's try that. See how good my math is. So I have a little extra there. So if I have something sticking out, that'll allow me to do that. So I think I'm gonna stay with that. That's 2 6/8. Okay. So I'm going to take all my little papers, fold them in half. Okay, I'm just going to put them all together for now just to kind of see what I've got going on. I wouldn't make... Where's my spine? Oh, that's adorable, huh? So let me see what it would look like if I had 2. I like the look of 2. It's a little bit more fussy, but I like that. So what I can do, I can either sew them in, or I can take some crochet thread and tie them in. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to double up my thread, I think like this. And I'll tie it. Okay. So now what I want to do though, I think I do want to put a few other pages in there to create a little bit more interest. So let's see what I want to do. Probably some music. It's not dyed though, so I don't really want to use that. I think I might just keep it like this for this purpose. So on the inside here, I'm going to distress so it's just not so bright. And then I might put like some pockets in there or something. Let's see. Could put green. I could just put that same paper right there. I've got this left over. I might just do that. I could put it right along the side too. That might look pretty. I could just cover the whole thing so it's the same in the inside and out. It's nice having the variety though. Could be cool having this since the box, but I think I want to use something different. Alright, let me take a look here again. See what hits my fancy. So this is the book. I'm going to have these in the inside. It's coming out there like that. So when I open it up, what do I want to see? The words just seemed a little bit too dark to me. What I might do is the same thing, just green. Carry on the green and the same theme there. I might do that. This would be kind of cool. This one would be nice. I don't know if that's loose. It'd pick up the different colors. Okay, I like this one. We're going with that. Doing a little cleanup here. Gets a little crazy. Okay. Gonna use that, gonna use that. On the inside here, it is 1.5 inches. I don't remember how high it was, so I'm just gonna do the old-fashioned way, hold it up there and do a little pinch. And so cut that, and then half, and that's funny. And if I have to, I can just take my scissors back and trim it. Hopefully I don't have to. Hopefully it's just the perfect size. Okay. It's perfect! I'm gonna go ahead. I know you're tired probably of hearing that, but I especially on these fall looking things, the distress look is just adds to it. Now if you've got just bright and cheerful and vibrant stuff, you know, maybe you don't want the distress on it really. It could take away from it. But on something like this with these muted looks, so if you see from there, it's perfect. I call it perfect, but actually it's just got a little smidgen at the top left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the dark colored distress and go on it just a little bit more. So any bit that's showing, it's not going to be too bright. I want to just dull it. And right ahead, I'm going to do that on the other side. Now I'm not going to recover the spine area, I believe. So what I'm also going to do is just go over that with the darker color as well. Just any bit that would take away from that outside look, I'm going to try to cover. Let's see how it works out. Nice. Ironically, I think it sticks out a little bit too much on this side. Okay, that's what I get for using my makeshift measuring technique. If I can get away with not measuring, I really prefer that. So it is what it is, and I'm happy to work around it. Yep. Okay, got that all nicely glued up. It's gonna be fantastic. And it glues her nicely. So once again, I'm just going to turn it over, and any little bit that's kind of showing out, showing up, showing over, showing, I'm going to clip it off like that. And hide those white edges with my ink. Okay. Now that I've got that there, I can pull in my signatures. So if when you make this, if you want to put other things in there, I would say go for it. I don't know that I do. I could put some, I don't, clearly I'm indecisive, right? I could just put some lighter pages in there, but see, it's just Some of the stuff I have is just too much lighter. So what I think I'm going to do is go over the edging differently, and I'll show you that in a second. So right here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How did I get 6? So I'm going to go 5 and 5. To just create a little bit of interest on the inside here, what I'm going to do is take some of my inks on my otherwise plain paper, and I'm going to put little stampings on them to just to create some movement, some motion, some interest. I don't want to take away the too much, right? I want it to be plain and to be used, but it just adds a little bit by doing this. And I'm only doing it on the edge area, really. I guess I don't have to just do the edge, but the edge is what you kind of see, and you're less likely to write really close to the edge. So what I'm going to do now, I do want to take a little more brown in there, and so I think I'm just going to try just see what some of this does. Just because it's quick and easy, but yet it impacts. So it does dull up that bright green a tad bit, and it makes it look a little bit more vintagey. Okay, last one. Although I didn't turn all of them over, right? Let me see what I want to do. Okay, for me personally, I think I would like to add a little bit of words that have the brown ink on it as well. Just create a little more contrast with the green. So, actually I want to try this leaf a little bit maybe. Like what if, I've got that red on it still, though, the red that just made my hands. I hadn't used that ink for a long time, and I don't know, it was like powdery on the top. It's just a Tim Holtz ink. I've never seen that before. Let me see what happens. Okay, I like that. So just little peekings of a leaf coming over the edge. And you can use anything, it doesn't have to be a leaf. But the leaf is just nice if you're going for a fall kind of look. Alright, let's go back to the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's my string. And I put those together. And I'm going to wrap this twice, making sure I have enough of the crochet thread on the outside to make the bow. Now, okay, I'm just going to do this. See how this is a little bit lighter? I think I want to just stress it up, change the coloring of it with my ink here. Easy peasy, but it makes a nice difference. Other than that knot I just got in it, it's quick and easy. Okay, so let's try again. I've got my pages here. I'm going to leave enough to make the bow on the outside. Position it all in the middle. Make sure my pages are centered. And then I'm going to pull it around and tie a bow. Actually, I might bring it back into the inside and then just tie a knot over here, because then it leaves the spine a little cleaner going in and out of the box. Okay, there we go. Get my pages set again. That works. Yeah. So get that to either the right or the left. And then go for my next one. And I should have enough for that as well. Okay, position it on the spine again. This time I'm just going to make sure I have enough there and enough there. Okay, you do have to be careful as you're doing this depending on how thick your paper is, because if you pull too tight and it's a thinner paper, it's going to cut through your paper at the top and at the bottom where the thread goes. So just be mindful of that as you're putting yours together. So, got that there. Want to make sure my paper is lined up okay for the center. And then do my knot. I could do a bow, but I want to do a knot in the middle here. Okay. So I've got my little spine going on, got the threads going on the side, and then I've got my signatures just tied in. So what I can do, I can leave that like that, or I can make a little pocket right here to cover up the stitching, and I think I want to do that with this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a pocket, but I'm going to fold it down so I can just tuck something in there. So I'll put a little glue on the pocket part, and then a little glue on both sides, push it together, and I'm done. And I'll do that with both of them. So, got my threads. I could pull it down on the other side on this one though, just to be a little different. And then do the same thing. A little bit of glue under the flap, and then glue right there where the pocket's going to go together and secure. So now it's just nice and clean, right? I haven't decided what I'm going to put right here yet. I'll have to think about that. What I'm going to do though, here's an extra piece, I missed one. I'm going to just take a little piece of my paper to put in there. I'm going to make a folded like that. I might choose something darker so I can see it better though. I'm going to put some of this in there. Okay. Get that tucked in. Just do the same thing with it. This is nice because I can just cut right along that line. That's what's nice about having your scraps right by you, right? You can just kind of grab. Okay, so I've got that going on. See what the leaves do? I really like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put it in my little box. See how it fits. I'll probably do something to close it up. I haven't decided yet. But there's my book in the box. What I think I'm going to do, I'll have to still decide that, but is tie something around. And this won't impact at all the rest of the book, right? Because that can just stay there, which is really nice. Like if I put those leaves back in or do something, I'll have to go back and just kind of decide what I want to do. But anyway, then we pull it out, and we've got our book, and then I can put stuff in the book. So that's what I'm going to do for now. Come on back and I'll show you a flip through of it when I finish and decide what I want to do. I hope you enjoyed seeing this, and once again, this is something that you can do just with the normal box and matches that you get from wherever, your grocery store, dollar store, wherever. So hope you enjoyed it. I will see you for the flip through. Bye.